Our first guest tonight to share their testimonial is a guy that goes, his name is Mike, I think it's Studney, and he goes by the affectionate nickname, I believe, of Mike E. Mike. Are you out there, Mike?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. How you doing, Mike?
Oh, pretty good.
Almost
Almost like changed my last name to the way everyone butchers it, phonetically. But
did I butcher it?
Not too bad, but it's Studney.
Studney.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that makes more sense. Killer beard. I'm loving the beard. That's awesome.
It's a little grayer than yours.
I'll get there. I'm getting there. Mike, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Wheat Ridge, Colorado.
Okay, Wheat Ridge, Colorado. And who introduced you to the ER Shred?
Well, I kept on seeing Bob's steak posts, because he's upline.
Is that right?
From years ago at I've been with Isagenix for about 10 years and have been going through the 9-day or 30-day off and on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I saw Bob's thing and I was just like, okay, I gotta look into this here.
So Bob is the mighty superhero, as we call it, who basically turned you on to ER Shred. So way to go, Bob Sivright. We love you, ER Shred ambassador. Way to lead out, way to show people, you're out there impacting lives. That's awesome. And let me ask you this. I know I kind of gave you an idea of, different things to think about. I'm just going to, frame it this way. What was your ER Shred experience overall?
Overall, I'm still there. I haven't stopped the ER Shred experience.
Well, give me an idea, like how long you've been doing it.
So I did the 11-day on the last challenge. Came in at the last minute. I was like, oh, it starts tomorrow. So I was looking through the guides because everyone looks like they're pointing to guides. I'm like, okay, I'm a good researcher. I can read. So thank you for
shout out Shreducator guides. Yep, Heather Seeker-Leonard.
So the first 2 days, I did not eat enough. I was like, wait a minute, I'm missing a part here. So by the time I came to my cleanse days, I felt great. I cooked for the family, and just to be able to have like that beef stick, like when I'm cooking the rest of the meals, was different than previous cleanses or even those shake days where it's like only a certain amount of chicken and do this with a snack there. So I found it a lot easier to be able to, I told Bob, I was like putting jerky between my cheek and gum like tobacco. And
I do that too, especially if it sounds gruesome, but if I get a good piece of gristle, that thing that stays there for quite a while, like a piece of gum, and I just chew on that. That's fun.
Yeah. So this was my first with the incubated shakes, and throughout the whole time, I felt pretty sustained. I wound up dropping about 14 pounds and some inches that I didn't mark all of them because I had my Isobody challenge going, and they only do like a few measurements. So, but my belly was the biggest thing. The bloat is kind of gone. And
man, great.
Yeah,
you feel light.
Yeah, a lot more energy too. And on the the mindset part, things that would have put me under and spiraled down through this time, I was, just taking it full on, whether it was like fixing my base. I had to solder some wires. The thing was like bugging me for like months. I just got that done. I was, I think, I forget who it was in one of the tips for cleanse days. I got down and dirty doing the toilets and stuff. Just seeing my surroundings kind of getting a little cleaned up and getting rid of stuff that we don't need, to the point of even the toilets that don't get done enough. I'm just like, man, this is my body. Okay, body, look what I'm doing. This is a full on, barrage of getting crap out.
That is so cool. I love that. We really need to key in on that because it's almost spring, and spring cleaning is a real thing. When it comes to this protocol, that motivation to have cleanliness and order, control spills over into all areas of your life. Is that kind of what you're saying? Is that it gave you the motivation to do all of that?
Yeah. Instead of it being despairing, saying, oh man, I got 4 things to do. I didn't get around to my base again this week. Like, you know, that my pile is piling up because I kept on adding stuff to it instead of like, okay, here's in front of me right now, get going on it and mark it off your list. Then you don't have to worry about it no more.
Kind of like focus, right?
Yeah.
You were able to focus on focus, and then, you know, the ability to do.
Yeah. And I kind of felt a little stronger through this. Just the fact of, instead of it letting the weight of the world hit me, going just like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this. It's just like, screw it. I'm doing the ER shred right now. I mean, I really love Jesse's like bluntness on some stuff where it's
Shout
just
out,
like, yeah, if you've been through some stuff, you're going to have some sludge, and, you know, which is a little bit more what I've kind of gravitated to, instead of like the old way of like, well, just have a couple wafers and 2 almonds, and, you know, and you caveman can do it. I'm like, me caveman can't do it.
That's true. I know what you mean, but you felt that satiation this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. So 14 pounds, this was the most recent group shred that we just finished?
Yes.
Oh, killer. Awesome.
Yeah. And then since then, I've just been kind of just doing the shakes, and I added a little bit. The first thing was some lettuce, and it didn't stay.
Doesn't
too
go
long.
For me either. Don't feel bad. Doesn't go for me either.
So I was just like, okay, so I haven't really delved off into too many other things. I'm just like, I know that, the one thing that I was like, with the empowerment and food and doing your own research, my go-to at the end of the night was like frozen mangoes. And I looked them up, and they got so many carbs. I'm just like,
for sure.
I stopped drinking. I stopped pretzels. I stopped all this other shit, and I still felt bad. And I'm just like, well, I thought that would do it, you know? And I was like, is a mango getting me? And like, I'm starting to look at other things. I'm just like, oh, I thought I was doing good.
I know. Last night on the call, Michelle mentioned that most all vegetables are culprits for her. And that's confusing. It is. My son was in the car and he goes, what, Dad? What? She can't eat any vegetables. That vegetables, you know, kind of, it's like, dude, that's why you don't see your dad eat a lot of vegetables. I will say this though. Not all vegetables are bad for all people. No, of course not. It's very individual. I also want to say that, you know, if you could get to a point, since you're new, Mike, if you could get to a point where you ate, we'll say 1 dozen to 2 dozen staple foods every day, and you could turn to those, I guess the question I would ask you right now, just direct, is that enough for you?
Yeah.
It sounds like it's enough, doesn't it? But you'll be surprised that you're going to have to get creative, because in the way of variety, we're used to a lot more than that, but it should be enough. What other animal needs more than a few?
Right. And my taste buds, you know, I've worked in restaurants for years, you know, I've got friends that are chefs. I cook, you know, pretty darn good myself. And it's not where the sustainability is. It's like, that's like another drug. Like you guys are saying, there's fuel for your body and there's drugs for it. And man, like chocolate cake, I mean, that's total drug. Might as well give the kids the cocaine at that point, right?
It's I mean, come on.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is.
We don't do that, but we do this on the other side. And like, I watched the fat fiction movie too, and the whole.
Tell me what that did to you. What'd that do to your mindset? What'd that do to your belief system?
Oh, well, my belief system's been thrown on its head for many lies that I've heard over what we did growing up. And I knew the food pyramid was bad, but I didn't know, like, I wasn't educated enough to kind of like put it together when they just like flipped it and be like, this is how much it's pushed on us. It's like, it's completely upside down. And I'm like, okay, well, this is the time to get all this upside down stuff out.
Yeah. Can I ask you one more question before we move on to the next guest? Did you ever have that moment where you kind of felt an energy surge and you kind of felt, I mean, I'm not saying you should have had it, you know, or, you know, my whole thing around this is we call it come alive. We call it the come alive moment, where people feel this, it's a pretty significant shift and it's almost undeniable. But for, you know, it just varies. It differs from person to person. I think there's even some people that look back and go, holy crap. I think I actually forgot how bad I felt. You see what I'm saying? That's what happens. But did you ever have that come alive moment?
Yeah, I'd say probably the first day after the cleanses, so day five, whatever that is.
Yeah.
You know, things were just kind of like going through my analytical mind, was like trying to piece it together, going just like, how is what's happening here? And just it just like kind of took off, and I was like, this is a whole new approach.
You
Like, so
felt a
that's kind
shift.
of like
Yeah.
what the alive moment was.
Yeah.
And then it got followed up with all the other stuff that I've been able to accomplish around here that's just been on my list. I'm just like, I'm alive for sure.
Yeah, you're alive. You're alive. You're lit. That's exciting, brother. That's awesome. So you're on to the next group shred, or what you gonna do?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
We'll be on I play on a float for the St. Patrick's Day parade downtown Denver, like the
Yeah.
biggest tractor trailer that can make it around the way.
Now
So
that's you just got to the most important question. What is your passion?
oh, well, passion, music's in there,
Yep.
family's in there. And my passion for my family is to like really leave this world to my kids with better choices and more sustainability and less of this corporate BS that they're just making money off of our kids. Like,
God damn.
I've been fighting local, I've been fighting up, and like, it's just the whole thing is up on its head. And I'm all for flipping a couple other things and making sure the
Yeah,
kids
what a
have the same
badass.
happiness that
You're a
we
shredder,
can
man.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, I dig it. I so dig what you just said. Thank you. It's a good passion. There's no such thing as a bad passion. I guess there
Thank
could
you.
be, but no such thing as a bad passion on this call. Hey, man, appreciate you. I dig your whole vibe. I hope you'll stick around. I hope you'll keep playing in the groups and keep us posted on everything because, you know, I think you fit right in.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
All right, brother. All right.